Hey, we got some tires for Danny Dixon. And we got some accurate management for you guys. This motherfucker's heavy.
So this truck belongs to a good customer and friend of ours, Mike Porter. It's a 61 F100 Unibody. This one, if anybody's been following along a little bit with the build, has been kind of a backyard fab at his place. He's got a pretty bitchin' shop in his backyard, so we go over there and drink some beers and work on this thing here and there. Now he's dropping it off to us. What are we doing?
The exhaust, brake lines, fuel lines, just to touch up, maybe mock up the steering column and stuff.
Okay, all the pedals. Okay, hell yeah. Okay, this is money though, dude. Like,
crazy.
I mean, another
the headers work so well.
2 inches would have been nicer, but we're changing the firewall anyhow, huh?
I don't see a reason to unless he wants
Clean
to.
it up.
Do you want it all smoothed out?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And I put the fenders in there. I don't know if I'd like to have.
All the old, I mean, yeah, clean it all in.
And do we need this?
Yeah.
All right. You think you can make your hinges work?
Why? Do you need them?
I don't know where the fuck mine are. I'm Mike Porter. This is my 61 Ford Unibody. Met Seth. I went through his crew of all the C10 guys. I've always been a Ford guy. Wanted to do a project with my son Riley. Did some research, found out that these were pretty kind of rare trucks. Found one up in New River. Riley and I went up and got it. Started tearing it all apart. Took us, I want to say a year, but I think it was closer to 6 months. Got it all apart. Talking to Seth on what, a lot of guys did that Crown Vic swap with the Crown Vic motor and wanted to stay away from that and do something more, original. So hanging out with Seth, met Seth at the BMX track, found out he was the its of its in my world for the C10 car parts, aftermarket stuff. Kind of got a hard on to do it. Ended up getting some TCI front and rear end. I ended up getting a Ford Coyote motor and transmission. It was a combo. Some bitch. Decided to go with a manual because my whole full intent was to give it to my son when he was done, and I didn't want his Yahoo friends ever wanting to drive it because kids nowadays don't know how to drive a manual. Super stoked. Had it at a position where I couldn't do anymore, just to the fact that one, I don't have the patience. So we brought it down here to switch to get the brake lines, fuel lines, exhaust all plumbed in so we can get it torn apart and get it out the powder coat. Basically, that's where we're at. Super stoked at what they've done. Really proud of what I've done. We went with a vintage air, the power steering pump and the AC up front. That was a little nail biter having to drill into the block for that power steering pump, but was successful so far. Not to say it won't fly off, when I'm burning the wheels off down the road, hopefully later. We ordered some 22-inch wheels for it. They ended up getting that, able to tuck those in there nice. It's probably not as low as the guys over here at Switch want to, but once again, was giving it to a kid that, we're probably gonna take it off road or something, so. I know that Robby's been working on, the Firewall. They're working on a custom exhaust tip for the end. Kind of excited about that. I hope it works out the way I think it's going to. Just all around, just super happy with the guys' work down here. It looks cool. I can't wait to hear it run, man. You did good, man. You did good. Thank you. Super happy with Seth. He's got a great thing going. It's good to see a Ford in here. It gets kind of boring watching all the C10s and square, all that stuff that Dino likes. But it's good to see some quality in here, and I appreciate all you guys liking it, and on Seth's Switch's YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. stay tuned, man. It's gonna be kick-ass.
Getting all itchy just thinking about it. I don't know. Yeah, we were just taking a look over this F100 real quick. Belongs to Mike Porter.
I feel like this is like one step closer, but it's still a long ways out.
And he's already installed a TCI coilover system on it. And he brought it to us to just kind of do some finishing touches, run the brake lines, fuel lines, finalize, weld some stuff. And then I think we're gonna do a custom firewall and like some race style brake pedals. So over here we've got a brake pedal, clutch, gas pedal combo from Tilton. I've never heard of this company, but it obviously is some badass top of the line shit.
Auto linkage system.
Cool. See if I can do this by myself since Jason won't help me. So now, get these arms out from under it, roll it forward, grab the body with the lift and just lift it up off. Yeah. Gonna check out the undercarriage. Is this thing on? I don't even think it works. Mike Porter, he started building this truck for his kid, for when his kid turned 16, but his kid kept getting in trouble, so he told him he's gonna drive it now.
How wide are his rear wheels?
He doesn't have them yet.
Well,
Okay.
But I don't
if he
think
goes
that'll be
any
a problem.
wider, he would have to up this.
It's Monday down here at the shop. We got Robby and Jason Campbell here working on a couple of trucks. My good friend Mike Porter, 61 F100s on the rack. We took the body off this morning and we're setting up the chassis. We're gonna do fuel lines, brake lines, dial in his steering, dial in his pedal assembly. He's gonna run a Tilton pedal assembly on it. He's running a Coyote 5.0 with a Tremix 6-speed. We also got the hydraulic throwout bearing assembly from Tilton as well.
So this is the new unit that we're gonna be installing. It's all hydraulic. No more mechanical linkage. We're gonna have to get a measurement from the face of here to these clutch fingers, these spring right here. We'll have to get a measurement so that we can adjust this to the right length. So yeah, that will just come on here, just like that. Boom, just like that.
Jason is buttoning up the floor on the Suburban for Joey G. The truck's actually not Joey's, it's sold, but we're buttoning up the back, the floor for him.
So we're working on this F100 of Mike Porter's, and we're getting ready to set up steering column and pedals and all that. And so we called him up and was like, hey, do you have the seat to your truck so we can get all this stuff mocked up? And he's like, yeah, I got the seat, I'll bring it down. This is what he brought us. Not much of a seat, but we'll be able to get the pedals and steering column mounted and placed where he wants them. But I'm glad he'll be sitting on this for mock-up and not me. Talking about it's a rat rod.
See, we need to know how that sounds. So, and it's basically going to have to go somewhere in this vicinity. And if I can't make this work the way I want to, then we'll end up with an H pipe instead of an X pipe, which does the same thing. It still balances the exhaust. The X pipe just a little bit better job of it, and also, quite frankly, it looks a little cooler when you put it in the car. Lets the exhaust kind of have a little bit more character. So just got a whole selection of U-bends. Some are different radiuses than others. These will get cut and fitted to whatever bends I need. 90s, 45s, all that kind of fun jazz. All of our connection points, we like to use a V-band style connector. Looks a lot cleaner, makes an easier seal for putting everything together. Flex joints for off the motor, just for any kind of torque movement of the motor and things like that. Keep it from breaking the pipes. Running the Borla mufflers. O2 bungs. Have to figure out where to weld those in once we get the pipes going. Hanger grommets. Well, it's a Ford, so I mean, it's probably not gonna sound that good. No, it should sound pretty good. It should sound like a newer Mustang. Being the Coyote motor, it's gonna have that kind of sound to it. It's kind of, I think, what we're shooting for. Big old chunk of stainless steel. Right there's a piece of poopy. Ooh, Robby, I'll put the X pipe over to one side and both mufflers on the other side. Have it go whoosh, whoosh. It'll look like a dancer. It's be over here, then it'll be over here. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. No, we're not doing that. Oh, just kind of trying to get an idea of how far back I would have to start turning to achieve getting into that X pipe in that rough location there. If you cut this dead center, you have 290s. If you cut it over here, you know, obviously your degrees change. So you can't, you know, you're not going to cut this and cut this at a crooked angle. You're going to cut this at a straight across the pipe, so that when it's all welded back together, the flow is consistent.
But yeah, we're just kind of getting an idea of where we're going to put these pedals. It's going to get kind of tricky because we've got a steering column in the way, so to say. The way these things, they mount to the Firewall, and then you've got master cylinder for clutch, master cylinder front, master cylinder rear. So on the outside of the Firewall, you're going to have 3 master cylinders. It's going to look pretty cool. Like right now, we're just doing the mock-up, and we're going to mount these to the factory Firewall where we like them. But in the end, we're gonna end up doing a custom Firewall with like bead rolls in it and stuff. So we're mounting these in the factory Firewall right now, so we get a location so that when we go to do our custom Firewall and our bead rolls, we can do a nice bead roll around this or something to accent it. We're thinking about mounting this pedal, cutting this off somehow, and running a link. So this will be mounted up in the dash where you can't see it, and we'll run a link from this pedal down to this pedal with this bracket setup we got from them in order to make the drive-by-wire pedal work, but still have the look of the tilt pedal, so all 3 pedals match. Been talking all this smack on Fords, but my first vehicle was a Ford. My first vehicle was a '93 Ford Bronco. I knew. It was my mom's, and she made me buy it from her. She didn't give it to me, but that was my first car. My mom's hand-me-down Ford Bronco. I grew up in a Ford family. I had 2 Fords, and then I started working at a Chevy dealership, and I knew after. I'm not a ginger. I have a red beard. I have a red beard. Well, kind of a hot rod theme. You know, we got a Rat Fink here. This is supposed to be a helmet for like demolition derby, because I always wore a helmet. You know, 55 Chevy emblem, wrench. You know, just kind of hot rod theme. Got a gas pump here, spilling gas, you know, I'm on fire and shit. It's pretty cool. I just have my last name down my back. Oh, yeah? Nothing special. That was my first tattoo. How in the hell have we done this in the past?
Oh. Hey, Robby, this guy says he has a 5.3 LS1 with cathedral ports, but he wants an LS3 adapter, throttle body adapter. It's cathedral port, is that, like, that's not LS3, right?
LS3 is rectangle.
But he might be running an LS3 throttle body? Because it says 90 millimeter. So he's probably running an aftermarket 90 millimeter throttle body. That's why he needs that adapter. Yeah. And so, yeah, so if he wants to buy the intake, he just buys the non-LS3
He buys the cathedral intake, but the other adapter.
But the different adapter.
Yeah. Hey, what's up? Robby. We're down here at Switch Suspension. Got Jason back here working on the floor in the Suburban. We did the whole section in one piece and then just used a brake to bend it. We did put some bead rolls in it for strength so it doesn't rattle or be flimsy. It's gonna get carpeted over eventually, so we didn't go too crazy with the bead rolls. We just did some for strength and for the structure. Phoenix Customs, Anthony over at Phoenix Customs made us some wheel tubs for it.
I've kind of got, anybody that knows me knows I kind of got a soft spot for Suburbans. And these model years, the 58, 59, are kind of one that I've always wanted to have. So kind of fun to get to work on one and do a little bit of stuff to this one. When I was about to turn 16, we had an old 63 Chevy truck that was sitting out back that I was basically told, that's your truck, and if you want to drive something when you get your license, you better get it running. And you know, it ran a little bit, but not well, and kind of self-taught. Learned a few things from a few people here and there, read some books about how to do things, a lot of trial and error, and I got that truck running. It didn't run good, but it ran good enough for me and my buddies to get around and have some fun in. And you know, it just kind of, being a car hobby, it turned into, by the time I graduated high school, I kind of figured this was what I wanted to do, was work on old cars. I didn't want to go into the dealership scene. I liked old cars. I liked working on them. So, like I said, did it as a hobby. Did a few for a few friends here and there, and it turned into a job.
Okay. We're here at Switch Suspension. This is Tommy, bright and early on a Tuesday morning. This is a 2015 Lexus LS. This customer had contacted us to just go over the AccuAir system on his vehicle, help set all the presets, just run it through its learning program. Robby's actually found out that there's a little bit of an issue there in the back. We got a red light indicator on the 2 down arrows, so we're gonna search through the instructions, take a look, make sure that we're gonna get everything fixed right for the customer and send him off and on his way.
Hey, what's happening, guys? I'm James here at Switch Suspension. Got I believe it's a 2015 Lexus GS with AccuAir CVT. Had some hard lining in it. The customer has requested to redesign the hard line and add a couple to it. Donald Duck, ain't nobody mad but you. That's just kind of my motto, my way, because even when I get wronged, I try not to be mad. That's a reminder for me to let the other person be mad. I gotta let it go. Be at peace.
I'm smiling.
That's what we like, you know?
And that's just the compressor running inside the tank, right?
Yep.
Everything.
Dude, that's it.
Inside. Yeah,
That's it.
all
That's the
right
whole
there.
platform, man.
Yeah.
It's quite a bit of volume, man. You should be able to play with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we sell this 3/8 aluminum hardline here at the shop. Comes in a 25-foot roll. Run it through straightener, you get your straight pieces. The 3/8 is what works best with the CVT and VT application.
These are, you know, stance socks, Star Wars edition, you know. Got a little Darth Vader on there, you know, a little fighter, some lightsabers, you know, all kinds of cool shit. Yep, got the Boys in the Hood ones, I got the American flag ones. I got some Rick and Morty dipping sauce ones, those ones are dope. You know, nice socks.
That was one of the best.
All right, I need my dikes.
Yeah, you're not gonna use that shit. And then you used it.
Door is heading your way.
Have a 65, thank you.
I really didn't need all that. I'm sure you'll eat whatever I don't.
So good. Thanks, James. Dick, I hope you grow taste buds inside your asshole.
Hey, Tommy.
Well, I'm going to the roof. Me and Robby usually take turns taking naps up in the cars so we don't get caught. It's my turn. I don't want to. Holding. Well, you said pump it, fool. I don't need to pump for no seconds. I don't have to do that.
Okay, pump. Jason's up there pumping the brake pedal. Yeah. And then he holds the brake pedal, applying pressure to it, and I open the bleeder. That pushes all the fluid and air out. Then I close the bleeder, and it pumps again. Pump! And keep doing that until there's more air coming out.
Oh, it feels good. Real good. Holding. Oh, are we now?
Yeah.
Well, all right.
Push the brake. Yeah. Stop, bro.
Ah, you like that?
Wouldn't be the Lone Star Throwdown without a little rain, right? This place is so big, they give you a freaking shopping basket. I am a beaver believer. We're gonna take a picture with the beaver? Come on over here. Get in here. All right, so we're gonna sit here and chill, eat lunch while we wait and see if we have a place to stay tonight. Stay tuned.
It's not. He doesn't have a family station.
He does too.